You're watching the Line Makers exclusively on SportingNews.com, presented by Jack Daniels.
Folks, it is time for the Jack Daniels Game of the Week. It's an AFC East showdown with the Jets visiting Foxborough to take on New England. Patriots opened 11 guys, down to 10.5. Total on the game, we'll call it 47. Let's start with the Jets, who showed some signs of life and a little fight a couple of weeks ago against the Texans on Monday night. And then they came back and took care of the Colts in what was a huge letdown spot for Indy. I wouldn't go nuts over the Jets, but they're fighting a little bit.
Well, Jets did run for 252 yards last week against the Colts, which they haven't done all year, been able to run the ball. Sean Green with 32 carries for 161 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they lost both backups in the game, Bilal Powell and Joe McKnight. New England coming off a loss is never a pretty thing to have to go face. New England beat this team twice last year, Rich. They beat them by 21 and they beat them by 9. So they beat them by a combined total of 67 to 37. It makes you think it might not be the highest scoring game of the week, but.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Last year's games, the Patriots covered both of them, turning it over to Rex Ryan. He's 3-4 against New England, so he has had some success. He has had a couple of blowout losses too. Back to the Jets side, last week's performance, you know, Sanchez, he threw for, I don't know, 80 yards last week. I think he had a quarterback rating, however the NFL rates these guys, it was like 70. I mean, this is not a good quarterback. And yeah, they beat the Colts. Colts were coming off a very emotional win against Green Bay, though, and they figured to be let down in this spot. Yeah, Jets played pretty well against the Texans. Jets, when they win, 3 straight up wins, all overs, the 3 losses they've had this year, all the games have gone under. So I'm looking at the Patriots covering this spot in a high-scoring game.
Well, you like a high-scoring game. It's a division game. The total on the game is 47. You talked about Sanchez struggles. Green got it going, but maybe that's more of an aberration than anything. But there's no love lost between these two teams. You know that it will be played at an intense level.
Yeah, it definitely will. And both teams are 4-2 against the spread, remarkably enough, with all the heat the Jets have gotten so far this year. I don't like laying double digits, and especially in a game with Belichick where, I mean, you would think, okay, they're coming back off the loss, but they don't have to win by 14 or 17. They can go out and win by 10, and you're still not cashing a ticket if you're laying double digits. But Belichick off a loss, I'm probably leaving the game alone unless you guys can convince me to do something with the total.
Oh, I could convince them, all right. Let me start convincing. First off, double-digit dogs, it's typically a play for me, and has been in a few spots. 2-4 this year, so not a lot of success with the double-digit dogs. Now let's look at the Patriots' 3-3 record. They were up 9-6 to the Cardinals, blown out in the third quarter. Can't recover late, should have beat Arizona. Played Baltimore, they were up 30-21 in the fourth. Screwed that one up. And last week, I got to bring up last week. I want to kill myself. Laid 3 with the Patriots, up 13 in the fourth quarter. They give up 14 points, 46-yard bomb by Russell Wilson. I wanted to throw something through the TV set. The point I'm trying to make is they can easily be 6-0, and they can easily be a higher number this week against the Jets.
The point you made, and you didn't mention it, was if McGahee doesn't fumble the ball, Denver has a huge chance to come back from out of the clouds to beat them too. Maybe it's New England in the first half and play against them in the second.
Yeah, he could play him in the first half. I'm playing him in the game. I'm going to probably play it to the over, and I'm going to wrap it up very small.
Remember, Aaron Hernandez back for New England last week, and will be on the field this week, and that opens up that passing attack.
True. Brady got whacked around in the fourth quarter. A lot of Patriots players got beat up in that game as well. Brady had a horrendous fourth quarter. He's in for payback this week against any team that's in front of him.
Hey, it's the Jack Daniels Game of the Week. Trust me.
JD, baby.
It's the Honey Jack Daniels Game of the Week. For Richie Bachelari, Ricky Aaron, I'm Brian Blessing. We'll see how it turns out in AFC East matchup when the Jets head to Foxborough to take on the Pats.